Oh my internet! What's up, internet? What's going on? It's Friday, and I've got the death. I've got the death, you guys. It's Friday, and I might be dying. I've got the death. We've got it. We've got it strong, and we've got it going on. What's happening, everybody? It's Friday here in my neck of the woods. Hopefully it's some kind of Friday in your neck of the woods. I know New Zealand, Australia, all that, you guys are Saturday, so that's good, because that probably means y'all just chilling out, doing cool New Zealand stuff and Australia stuff too on top of it, right? Isn't that what's going on? Is that what's going on, you guys? Glad to have everybody out here today. Good to see all your bright and shiny faces. Or at least your avatars, however you want to put it. Let's scroll all the way up here to the top. M. Howie, Mr. Mike Howie himself, coming in first to the chat, digging it. Maxwell Sonneman, Bald and Dangerous, Gone Wishing showing up. Recab Harris, what's up? Good to see everybody here. Leonie Ballantyne is here. That's cool. Gone Mad, what's up? As you could tell, I'm completely stuffed up. I'm a disaster right now, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how long today's show will be. I see Joel G, straight out of New Zealand. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, like I said, New Zealand. It's Saturday. It's Saturday in New Zealand, which is cool. Gone Mad's got a whole bunch of spiderwood in for his 120, which is awesome. Kudos. I'm glad to hear that. Bentley Pascal is here in the chat. AJ's Aquariums is here. Let's see. Mr. Rumbust himself with the first super chat of a Friday show. What's up, man? Thank you. I appreciate it. With the Swedish crowns. Oh, man, how do you say that? I don't know. Either way, what's up? I see Steve in the chat. What's going on, Steven? Mr. Steve's Salty Shrimp, Shrimpery, and more. Good to see you. Oh, that's my toothpicks, you guys. What happened? Oh, man. It's a weird Friday here. Lost my toothpicks. Let's check out what's going on here. David Lopez. We got a few other people in the chat, and I'm probably going to miss them, but we got Mateo coming all the way out from Idaho. I see a Daryl Dimer in the chat also. I see a Rory. What's up, Rory? Tiger Bite. I see Candy Overholes. I see Alyssa Bentley. I see everyone. No, I don't. I'm terrible at this. Sean Hilton. Soggy Pits. Phil Emerson. Turbofish. What's up, man? G-Bear. Good to see everybody out here today. We've got, okay, let's start out the news here, because I just see the Aquarium Co-op popped in and posted up on there. Yes, both Kobe and myself are dying of some kind of retrovirus. I don't know what it is. I'm dying. Kobe's dying. We're all dying. It's going to be the end of an era here. I don't know. I'm feeling better than I did yesterday. Yesterday I felt really terrible. Wednesday I felt pretty bad. Today I do not feel great either, but I feel better than yesterday. So I'm probably mending or on death's door. You know what I mean? It could be one of those things where, it's like the calm before the storm. It's like, I feel good. Oh! But still got to work. So we'll see how long I can get through today's show. We do have a video segment, and we also have the Patreon questions to get to. So we have a bunch of stuff. But yes, as Alyssa says, rude of them to send you home with the Germany plague. Yes, I'm not sure what it is that we caught. But it's just like, I don't know. It's pretty terrible. I will say this, about halfway through the return flight home from the Paris leg to Seattle, about halfway through, I started, is when I, like, suddenly, like, my sinuses were going crazy. I had a bunch of stuff. Hadn't really got any sleep. We've been traveling a bunch and stuff. So, I don't know, but I figure at some point in time it'll go away, or I'll just end up dead. That's just pretty much how I operate my life anyhow. I figure I'm just going to work right up until I just drop dead. Whether I'm 100 or 5 doesn't really matter to me. That's just kind of how I'm going to go about living it, you know. But to those of you out there with the health recommendations, which I know will be coming down the line, I am taking my emergency. I am drinking lots of fluid. I'm getting as much sleep as I can. Blah, blah-bitty, 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. So there really isn't much more on the front to get done as far as my health goes. And just pushing through. You know what I mean? Just pushing through, and we shall see how it shakes out. Hands in the air. I don't think I'm contagious at this point because I've been sick long enough, and I know Bentley is going to be coming by tonight, so I've got a bunch of Stargrass for him and then possibly some other stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but I've really been trying to play catch-up with all the emails and all that kind of stuff because, as you guys know, when I was overseas, I had no service, so how awesome was that? But I was unable to return emails and stuff like that while I was overseas because I had no service. As you guys see, I will be probably coughing and sneezing during this show, but I'll do my best to do it off mic and not blow up anybody's speakers or headphones or any of that kind of stuff. Candy Overhauls is asking if I have a fever. I don't know. Probably. I've probably got a fever, and there's probably only one prescription. Cowbell. Probably. That'd probably be the only thing that could handle it at this point. But I am taking some Dayquil and see if we can get through the show. I'm guessing I probably won't have the stamina to get to the full show, but we'll get to all the points of the show for sure. I have to say, I'm definitely glad to be back stateside, back in my home here with my lovely spouse. Her birthday is coming up. It's on the horizon. I think I've got most everything figured out for that. So that is good. I feel good about that. It's always good to have some solid presents and all that, lined up for a birthday. And then so that means it's probably going to throw Monday's show off. I might end up doing a Sunday show or just a later Monday show than usual. So just a heads up to anybody out there who's paying attention. The Monday show might be weird or at a weird time or anything like that. So just a heads up with all that stuff. T. Frakes Tank says, let's get real. You were busy living in the moment. Not too often you get to be in Europe. Yeah, that's true. And also on top of it, a lot of the stuff was not necessarily filmable or anything like that. So I did have all my camera gear with me as much as possible while in Europe. But there was also not a lot of stuff to videotape because couldn't necessarily just be videotaping meetings with important people, and then just be yeah, we're just going to put this up on YouTube, But either way, it's good stuff. I noticed that the Aquarium Co-op have posted a I forget what it was. He told me what it was, and now I don't know where it went. But he had a sickness plague 9% off code. I don't know where that went, but I was gonna copy and paste it and put it into the chat, but I don't know where it went. And admittedly, people wondering if I got a fever today. I probably do. I feel hot, but it's just one of those deals. David Lopez has got the garlic. He's got the cayenne. He's got the honey. Yeah, I definitely do that from time to time. I definitely agree with that. It's not a bad thing. But we do have a good weekend coming up here. As I noticed some people talking about Deadpool in the chat. Do not spoil it for anybody, and do not spoil it for me either. You'll just get banned from the channel. That's how it goes. Don't spoil movies for people, because movies are kind of a big deal for me. We will be seeing Deadpool Sunday morning. We will be going to see... be going to see Deadpool. We're going to see Deadpool 2 Sunday morning, and we'll be checking that out. Hopefully it's good. I've seen a lot of people giving it reviews saying that it is good, so do not despair. I think most people have seen Avengers at this point or whatnot. Avengers was pretty good. I don't know where that storyline is going, personally, but I hope it works out. I hope they don't do a letdown. The thing I'm looking forward to is I hope they don't do... I hope they don't just do, like, rewind the clock. That would kind of be kind of lame. But I don't know where they're going to go with that storyline. Because if they do a rewind the clock, it feels kind of cheap, doesn't it? But I don't know. I haven't seen... did Solo come out yet? I don't know. I think the Han Solo movie, I'm probably just going to wait till it comes out on video. I think that's probably just going to wait for that to come out on video, because it just... I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I was watching the previews and stuff, and, you know, as much as I thought, like, Rogue One was cool, my biggest point with that Solo movie would be, like, you kind of know what's going to happen, right? Like, Han Solo doesn't die. Like, Chewbacca doesn't die, because they're in the later movies. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just feel like, where's the tension? Where's the tension there? And there's the same kind of thing with the Rebel One movie, where it was like, you know, they get the plans, because it was in the movie where they blew up the Death Star. You're like, I know where this is going, right? So I don't get it. I don't really get it. I feel like they should just make other Star Wars movies, ones that don't have anything to do with any of that stuff, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm out on an island here in this opinion, but I feel like they should just make Star Wars movies about other stuff that was going on. You know what I mean? Like, just not related to the... I don't know. It just seems weird. It just seems weird to me, because you know that they get the Millennium Falcon, then they have it later. Chewbacca's not dead. No one's dead. I don't know. I just don't get it. It doesn't seem very appealing to me. I bet my movie cohorts will probably make me go, and I'll probably go. But I feel like I'm not, like, super zazzed for it. I was super zazzed for it for the Avengers, basically, but I don't know. I was really emotional at the end of it, and I just didn't feel like man, that's really where they needed to go. Considering they're going to be, like, it feels like to me they're just going to have Captain Marvel, like, wrap it all up. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm off base on that. But either way, we'll get over the nerd talk and all that kind of stuff. I don't mean to sidebar onto nerd movie stuff, but, you know, it's on my mind, because I'm going to go see Deadpool. Oh, and the other thing, I guess the whole thing that spurred this whole thought process in my head was, like, why does, I don't want to say his name wrong now. It's Josh Brolin, right? Let me see. Yeah, Josh Brolin. Gosh, I got all paranoid that I was going to say his name wrong. But Josh Brolin, not only does he play Thanos, which I was like, okay, cool. Josh Brolin as Thanos, as much as it doesn't seem right, I was like, okay. But then he just did the Josh Brolin voice, right, as Thanos, which kind of screwed up the experience for me. He didn't have, like, a different voice. But now he's playing Cable, which Cable is my favorite comic book character. Okay, Cable has always been my favorite. He's always been my favorite comic book character, as far as I can recall. I mean, other than, like, you know, when I was 5, when I was like, you know, Spider-Man was awesome or Superman or whatever. But him as Cable, I mean, it looks great, but now it's like you've got one guy playing 2 of the superheroes, which I'm like, you could have easily had him be Cable, which is awesome, and then Cable could show up in other movies, but why is he also Thanos? It just seems odd to me. Like, you could have easily just gotten a voice actor to be Thanos, right? And could have just done a voice of Thanos, not Josh Brolin's voice with, you know, basically a puppet moving around on screen. I don't know. It just kind of screwed me up. And I like Josh Brolin. I think he's a fantastic actor, and I think he looks awesome as Cable, but I just find it, I don't know, I find it unsettling that they've got the same guy playing 2 of the major, like, Marvel characters. It just feels, I don't know, it's just super weird to me. It's like if you had Patrick Stewart play 2, like, if you had Patrick Stewart play Magneto and Professor Xavier, you know, you're like, well, he's just such a good actor. Like, yeah, but isn't there, like, another guy who could do that? Excuse me. So that's been on my mind and kind of been bugging me a little bit. But I don't know. I have high hopes because I hope that the Deadpool with Cable is going to, like, I think they've done enough work that it's like, that's Josh Brolin. Like, no, that's Cable. Okay. So I don't know. Elise Hanson's asking, isn't this just because Marvel doesn't have the movie rights for Deadpool? You know what? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know much about the inner workings of the business of all that stuff, but you know, let's see. Gone Wishing. Hold on, let me move this over a little bit. If we win, we'll be a chap at your front door. Oh, what? Let's see here. Savannah says, I think Tony is going to be the main upper of it all. I believe so too, probably because of basically what Doctor Strange was doing. I think it will have something to do with Tony Stark. And because Tony Stark was having all the flashbacks and stuff, I think he's going to have clued in onto something from all the weird dreams and things that he was having. I think what Doctor Strange said, plus all the weird dreams he was having, I think Tony Stark will have something to do with it. But the ending with them, like, calling Captain Marvel at the end, I think it'll probably be a combination of the two. And I really hope it's not just them turning back the clock, because that's always kind of the worst. Luke Cooper says, please say hi to Eric for my friend called Bubble. He'll know who you're talking about. Well, hi, Eric. Good to hear from you, Luke. Johnny is here. What's up? Well, hey, Johnny, how's it going? I'm a little under the weather, so you guys are going to have to bear with me today because I'm definitely sidebarring and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But as Back Wheel Bandit says, what's up with the skate, bruh? Well, I have a video segment. I'll talk about that when we get to the video segment, which is actually pretty soon. Johnny's asking, are you going to watch Deadpool? Yes, on Sunday morning. I think this is something I've hit home on the stream a few times, that we do like to go see movies in the early morning on the weekend. I think it really works. Pretty well to be able to go in the morning, and luckily the movie theaters around here actually do like early morning shows and stuff like that. So I think we're going at like 9:15, which isn't it's obviously not it's not super early or anything like that, but I think it's early for a lot of people. They're like, you're going to see a movie at 9 in the morning? Like, yeah, dude. But John Gonzalez saying, are you and Corey going to live? I don't know. The jury is still out. We were both super sick, and we shall see what happens. I'm not sure if we got some kind of toxic blast, but Corey got tested a bunch. I've just been relishing in the fact that I'm not dead yet, so I'm just going to keep working. I've been taking some Dayquil, drinking a lot of water, and vitamins and all that kind of stuff, and just trying to stay on top of it. And we shall see how it pans out, whether or not I'm going to die or not. Oh, Candy says, I haven't seen it yet. Stop talking Infinity War, please. Oh, well, Candy, when did Infinity War come out? Somebody's got to answer that for me. Infinity War. Hold on. When was the release date? April 27th. Because I think I saw Infinity War before I went to Germany. So I've traveled the world and seen Infinity War. So my apologies. If you haven't seen it yet and I just spoiled it for you, I don't know. It basically came out, like 4 weeks ago? I don't know. And I'm sorry. But either way, I don't know what to do if you haven't seen it yet. But my apologies if I spoiled it for you. I didn't really tell you anything. I told you some stuff that happened at the beginning where Tony Stark has weird dreams at the beginning. But they did call Captain Marvel at the end, but that's like a credits, a thing during the credits. So don't worry about that. That's not really like a part of the movie. It's like the cookie thing at the end, whatever you want to call that. But yeah, I have to admit, still feeling sick and not feeling great, but let's bust into some of these super chats real quick. Rob Hicks says, don't worry, guys. You just got the fish fever. I hope it's just the fish fever. I don't know. Hope I'm not dying. And whatever I got is going to cure itself. I think we just got like a wicked cold or something like that doesn't really show up on the tests. I know that Corey went and got blood tests and stuff, which serious infection and everything would have shown up on that. You know, his white blood cell count would have been through the roof. So, you know, and they also said that they did the strep swab and stuff like that, and that came back negative. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it is, and I'm assuming it's just going to go away. That's just an assumption I make because I'm a foolish human. So, you know, I'll just keep doing the work I got to do and keep going. And, you know, hopefully I got a few more years in me before I kick the bucket. But I'll be brutally honest with you. Somewhere inside my head, I've always sort of been of the thought process that, like, if I kick the bucket, it's not really going to be my problem, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just end up being dead, I guess. Is that weird? Is that a weird way to think? I don't know. But it's just somewhere in my head. It's always kind of been that way. Gone Mad says, if you streamed in 4K, the aphids would be visible or something along those lines. Okay, thank you, Eric. Thanks, man, for just a double whammy. That's a double whammy of callbacks if you know a few things about this stream, if you guys watch. Steve Horton says, that's it. Joel's blocked from the chat. Yeah, you're right. I should be blocked from the chat. I should be banned from the channel. Did I ruin it? Did I ruin it for everybody? Yeah, I don't know. I talk a strong game, and then I kind of maybe spoiled it for somebody, but not really. If anything, if anybody spoiled it for anybody, it's Facebook or anything like that. But Rory with Super Chat says, don't get to see much live streams due to work, but when I do, I catch both you and Corey. It makes my day. Thank you for all you do. Just got 13 neons. Tips. My first tip with neons, if you got 13, I would get more. They have a tendency to be acting kind of lame, you know what I mean? If you have too small of a school of them, they'll sort of just kind of do this thing and not really like school up very well. But 13 might be enough with a small tank. I would say if I'm going tetras, I want to get into the 40, 50, 60 of them range, basically. That's where I'd want to be at. To make sure that the school is high enough. And then beware of the tetras. Oftentimes they are wild caught. So you definitely want to do some solid feeding of them, probably frozen foods and things like that, until you can get them to be really taking dry foods. So that will help get their weight up. Help them, keep their weight up, keep them healthy and stuff. So, blackworms, bloodworms, any other kind of frozen foods that I can't really think of right now that they could eat. They won't do krill or anything like that because it's kind of too small. But if you could maybe you could hatch some brine shrimp or something like that. Those would be great too. So you just want to definitely keep their definitely want to keep their weight up and. Because they're more often than not wild caught. Those are pretty much the ones that you're going to get in stores. Mateo says, careful of the Ebola. Yeah, I don't know what we got. The Coop says, Coop says our symptoms are different. Yes, they are different, but we are both sick, so who knows? I don't know. I don't have a clue. Niels Hansen with the Danish super chat. What is up? As you guys know, a lot of my family heritage is Danish from Denmark, and so is Niels. What's up, Niels? Says, hey, Corvus, maybe I missed it. Are you a full-time YouTuber now, or do you still keep a daytime job? Great show. Greetings from Denmark. Thank you, Niels. Thank you very much for contributing. I appreciate it. I think a lot of people probably have this question. I don't have a consistent day job where I like Monday through Friday get up and go do that kind of stuff. But I 100% still do jobs in order to make money. Those jobs vary from doing paintings to doing handyman work, working on people's houses, all that kind of stuff. Which is what I was going to be doing yesterday, but I was just too sick to be able to pull that off. So. But yes, I do definitely have other income sources. My long-term goal would, to be 100% independent, just kind of doing the YouTube grind, doing projects for fish tank people and stuff like that, and just being, just essentially living in that niche, or niche. Niche. That's the word I'm looking for. And I would much rather be doing that full-time, 100%. We're just not there yet. We haven't hit that goal. We're getting closer and closer every day, especially because of people like Niels, like everyone else kicking in, especially from the Super Chats, the Patreon, people watching videos, sharing the videos. Sharing is huge, man. I didn't realize how bad it was until I started looking into the analytics. YouTube doesn't like to share, so it really comes down to us. I think you guys have noticed I've been kind of trying to share a little bit more on my community page of other people's stuff, trying to sprinkle that into and also help kind of support other projects and things, whether they're a big project or a small project, just trying to keep rocking and rolling, you know what I mean? So, and yes, it is my long-term goal to be able to just produce content for you guys. I know there are a few pans in the fire right now about possibilities of doing more extensive, bigger projects with other bigger creators and stuff, but we'll see how those work out. You never really know how it's going to go. One of the biggest issues that I think everybody has is going like, well, how do I, how do I free up time to be able to do projects, and then how do we fund them? Because, one of the issues is going to be like airfare. Like, let's say I was going to fly somewhere in the fish fam and go like help out some kind of project that was going on, and film it and make videos and stuff like that. How am I going to free up the time to be able to do that? It's just basically going to boil down to independently funding that kind of stuff. We're just going to have to figure out how to do it. A ton of it boils down to you guys just being awesome and being generous. As you guys know, sick as a dog right now. I'm willing to show up for pretty much just about anything. Main reason I didn't want to do anything yesterday was just, like the danger of like falling off a ladder because I'm all dizzy and sick. That kind of stuff is just be like, you know what, for safety reasons, let's just put that off. Oh my gosh, we have a super chat here from 54 Punchy. Super hugs to Joel, Candy, and the Fish Fam. What is up? 54 Punchy's got the computer rocking and rolling. If you guys didn't notice, before we left for Germany, I basically, for lack of a better way to put it, I got into a big argument online with a bunch of people that they basically wanted to naysay the Nazis' responsibility for the Holocaust, right? Which is crazy. And those kinds of crazy people have got to be dealt with one way, and that's in a very rational, calm way, and just allow them to wear themselves out. And I don't know if it worked or not. Maybe I convinced somebody that we should at least just think of, like, come on, how much evidence do you got? And you want to try and refute it now? Okay, that's weird. But we basically ended up doing a fundraiser drive instead of our regularly programmed not show, because I was about getting ready to leave. I was basically getting ready to leave town. We weren't going to do a live show, but we ended up doing a live show. We fundraised a brand new computer for 54 Punchy, who I do have to tell you, then posted some more awesome paintings onto the Facebooks of her stuff, and I have to tell you, it's amazing. She's a fantastic artist, doing great work out there, and hopefully us fundraising a brand new computer for her is going to allow her to share more of that stuff out so everybody can get a chance to enjoy it and possibly order a painting or something like that. I think would be awesome. I would love to commission a piece at some point in time, and I got to figure out how to get that together and send off the email, but I'm having enough problems even like responding to texts with just how wonky I've been since I got back. But 54 Punchy live in the chat. So happy to see you there. I see Mr. Caleb Overhauls there. And if you guys don't know who Caleb Overhauls is, Caleb is our number one super fan. We've been doing our best to, not to like just talk about fundraisers all the time, but Caleb's our guy. We've been working on fundraising for him. He's battling leukemia. I'm happy to say they're moving into a new house, a new rental to be able to stay where they're at, keep them local and all that stuff. And a lot of that becomes from people contributing to that GoFundMe and helping just helping that wonderful family out. And I'm super happy that we've got 2 thumbs up on both sides. I see AquaPro's Mike in the chat. What's AquaPro's doing? Oh, he says, I love you. Well, I love you too, Mike. I'll have to give you a call. Sometime, Mike. Oh, AquaPros is in the chat getting weird. Oh, he's got that little verified check mark. I don't have a verified check mark because we don't have enough subscribers here. We don't have enough Oceaneers. We don't have enough Oceaneers to get the check mark. We have to get to the 100,000 before I can get the check mark. Oh. Excuse me. Hope I don't keel over. It would be weird if I keeled over dead during the stream. Would that be weird? I guess that would probably be like a first on YouTube, right? Don't worry, I'll save that for many years down the road. 54 Punchy says, just get a hold of me. I'm thinking I need to ditch my day job and go back to art full-time real soon. Yeah, It's probably going to be the digs. Let's do that. Aqua Pro says, I'll give you the check mark. I don't want it. Okay, well, I want to check. I want to get verified. And plus, you know, if I don't bring up that we don't have enough subscribers, then people won't have the empathy to be like, we need to get more subscribers. But is that how that works? I don't know. Either way, I'm super happy with what's going on here. And, you know, I'm happy to say we went over the 13,000 Oceaneers while I was in Germany. Whilst we were overseas, wasn't even here to clap and say how awesome that was. But things are going great. Things are going good other than the current, whatever this cold flu thing I got is, you know. So I'm not worried about that. Oh, man. Just click over there on the Facebook. One of my buddies just got out of the hospital, which I'm glad to see him up and about. That's good. All right. Well, let's get on to the... What are we doing first today? You guys vote in the chat, and I'm going to... you guys vote in the chat. I'm going to count them up real quick. You guys want to see the Aquascaping, or do you want me to go to the Patreon? Just put in Aquascape or Patreon, and I will count them up, and I will answer John Gonzalez super chat. That feels like that cough's coming out of my ear. That was weird. John Gonzalez says, explain the sharing thing in detail. Educate me to better understand. He missed the T there. But I can help out and add the T in, right? Okay, John. I'm happy to explain this a little bit. As you go through and like watch a video and stuff, you will notice there'll be a share icon on something, just kind of like on Facebook. You'll see a share icon. So manually doing it, you can actually just highlight the URL at the top and like maybe go over to Facebook and be like, hey, I like this video, and send that out there. You can actually just copy and paste it, throw it in there, and do that. And that's one way to do it. There also is an automatic way to do it on YouTube. I believe there's just a share button on the bottom right hand of the video, and it has just a little arrow on it, and it says share. You can actually hit that button there, and it'll give you options of where you want to share it to, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those kind of platforms that you are on, and you want to share it out to other people that you know. It's becoming very, very important that becomes organic now, which is weird because that's not the way that it used to be in the past. It used to be that YouTube would handle all of the notifications being sent out and the people getting them and all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, it's actually become more organic, that they want the people that are actually watching the videos and stuff like that to share it out to people that they know, because it seems a lot less intrusive than YouTube sending out a ton of emails to people or pop-up notifications and all that kind of stuff. Aquarium Co-op keeps saying that Twitter is where it's at, and I feel like I'm being trolled with being told to go to Twitter. I don't want to go to Twitter. I hate Twitter. I've managed to tweet like 6 things. I've managed to tweet like 6 times in my life, and I hate it. So I'll try to tweet, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's good and bad. So I'll try. I have so many things to like share out on and all that kind of stuff. It just feels like adding in another one is just a little bit wonky, but I'll do what I can. So hopefully that answers your question about the sharing thing. It really is hitting the like button, hitting the share button is it's getting more and more important now that the actual people that watch it, like when the people that watch it actually share it out, as opposed to YouTube the YouTube robot essentially trying to figure out who wants to get it or not, because they feel like if you've spent time to build your social network, that probably some of the people in your social network will be like, oh, hey, John's into fish, I'm into fish, let me go click on that thing, I'll go check it out. and then maybe you don't like it or not. But it basically doesn't it doesn't like maybe that person that comes in to watch it doesn't like it, and they're kind of like, never mind, that's not for me. It doesn't essentially reflect negatively on you or the platform or anything like that. It basically just comes down to like somebody being like, oh, I don't like pork chops or whatever, right? They're like, oh, they weren't bad pork chops. I just don't like pork chops. Cool. I'm out. And so YouTube's sort of just relying on that. YouTube's essentially just kind of relying on that system instead of anything else. Rebecca's saying, does it still help the algorithms if no one clicks? Yeah, basically. It basically just means that you're willing to just be invested in the things that you like. You know, it basically just gives them a little bit more of like, okay, more people are sharing this out. It'll just create more opportunities for the algorithm to go, oh, okay, well, if like, let's say like this video right here gets 100 likes, and 200 shares, right? It basically, the algorithm would quantify it as, oh, people were more willing to share this with the people that they know versus bothering to hit the like button, right? It would just say like, oh, people are more interested in like, oh, this message needs to get out or whatever. And it just kind of sways more in the, I mean, obviously I want people to hit the like button or whatever, but I don't know. Oh, InstaFool Fishkeeping says 134 watching and only 9 likes. Yeah, I don't know. People don't really like it when I talk about movies and stuff like that. But it is Friday, so hot and loose. I'm always kind of hot and loose on this show. It's my show. Kind of get to do what I want, right? To a certain degree. But you guys clearly have voted Aquascape and even put some money into it with Nisi super chatting. Caleb voted Aquascape, so I vote Aquascape. I counted more Aquascapes than I did Patreon. But never fear, I will do my best to get to all the Patreon questions. All you guys that posted those in, you won't be negated. We've got a super chat from Chicken Lips, says a little something to add to Vicky's living trust in case you kick the bucket during the stream. Chicken Lips too. I can always count on a little good comedy from the Chicken Lips too. Almost every time he posts a comment or something like that, it almost generally gets a chuckle out of me for sure. Yeah, I'm dying, coughing a lot. Peter Hansen's waiting for the like spike. I guess if you guys want to do the like spike thing, I don't know that it's ever really even done anything. But if we're going to do the like spike, let's count down. 5, 4, a free, a 2, a 1. Oh, wait. Did I just kind of flip everybody off backwards? Like spike. That was completely accidental. I was trying to just do my fingers a funny way, and then I accidentally kind of sort of flipped the bird, but not really. It's a good opportunity for me to get a little drink of water. Ultimate Fish Keeping Show needs to dash. Thank you for the stream. Love to Caleb. Take care. All right. Cool. All right, guys. Well, let's move on to the aquascaping portion of the show. Where's the video? Oh, that's that button. Cool. All right, guys. As you all know, we had some things going on with the 150, mainly the green rock syndrome, which I'll be showing you guys how to clean those off next week. I actually haven't rendered down the video from cleaning the rocks, and I'll show you guys a quick and easy way of doing that. There's really only 2 rocks that I'm going to take out of here to clean. The rest of them I just don't even care if they have a little bit of green on them. But that one of the rocks has a bunch of green algae on it, mainly because we were a little bit fertilizer deficient while I was gone. We were just kind of missing some fertilizers. We got enough plants in here now that it is generally just chewing it up. So I've gone from, hold on, let me think. I got to think back to what the whiteboard says. So I've got the old Easy Green that's not the super concentrated one. Was it the same amount of pumps? I don't know. I cannot answer that. I know there's a new concentrated one, and I haven't got to try the concentrated one yet, so I don't know what the pumps are. All right. Sorry, got coughing and losing my train of thought. But I don't have the new concentrated one, but I've gone from 8 pumps of Easy Green a week. Now I'm up to 11 is where I need to be at, and I was gone for too long, which allowed a little bit of that green algae to grow. Essentially, that kind of green algae will sort of pop up when you just generally don't have enough phosphate. Phosphate's kind of the one that, if you have a high enough level of it, will keep that green algae from popping up anywhere. That's normally the deficiency for like green spot algae. It's normally the one that's missing. But I'm easily working my way past that by just adding a little bit more Easy Green in my weekly dosing schedule and keeping it real. You know what I mean? Keeping it real and keeping it simple. That's kind of my jam. You know what I mean? I do not want to go back to EI dosing. EI dosing is a crazy mess. And I don't want to go back into it. I'm definitely enjoying the Easy Green. Just need to make sure I up the ante on the fertilizers if I'm going on way longer, because I just have kind of a lot of plant mass in here. Ghost Trot says drinking moonshine. No, I'm not drinking moonshine. What? Why'd you guys delete it? Why'd you delete it? I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. As a matter of fact, this is my old moonshine jar, if you're actually wondering why I have all these jars and stuff like that. I just passed 4 years sober, actually. I've been sober for over 4 years now, but this actually is one of my old moonshine jars. I think. I might be wrong, though. I might be wrong. Vicky would know if this is one of my old ones or maybe one of the newer ones. Okay, now I feel like an idiot, because I may have misspoke. This might be a newer jar. I might have got this. I don't know. I used to have moonshine jars. Let me start that over. I used to have moonshine jars. This might be one of them. But I've been sober for 4 years and 5 days or something like that. Hold on, let me check my calendar. Come on now. Where's that calendar, meow? Where's that calendar right now? Meow. 4 years and 5 days I've been sober, which is dope. I'm loving it. I'm loving my lifestyle choices, other than one thing, which I will be making a big change on that fairly soon, and I will tell you guys all about it when that happens. But yes, I've been sober for a long time, and anybody that's wondering have I ever made moonshine, it's a possibility that I may have. You know, I don't recommend it. Huge waste of time. Do something else with your life. Find a better thing to do. It'll be a much better thing. Yeah, I don't think moonshine's a bad word. I generally don't shame other people for drinking and stuff like that. It's not my thing. I'm more than happy as we went out. Like, for instance, we went out in Germany. We went out with Yuri and George Farmer, and those guys had a bunch of beers and stuff, and we had a great time. I had a cappuccino, and then I had some waters. But definitely had a great time. Those guys had a bunch of beers and stuff, and helped keep a sober eye on them. You know what I mean? Like, hey guys, I'll help be your little baby. I'll help be a babysitter. You know what I mean? So that stuff really doesn't bother me. I definitely appreciate going out with people and having laughs and stuff like that. But I will say this. Super happy with myself being sober, and my relationship with alcohol and stuff like that was never a happy thing. So we'll just keep it up and keep doing what we're doing. But my relationship with Mr. Brown's still going on strong, because I love coffee. It's delicious. Yes. All right, so back to the 150 here. Now, as you guys can see, I've got a lot of the crypts going well. Alternanthera renekii is doing great. It's finally adapted and starting to grow in quite well, which I'm happy to say that we've finally got enough. We've got enough root system and all that kind of stuff going on, which is great. And I've been distracted by the chat, so hold on a second here. Phil Emerson says, designated driving on the wrong side of the road. Not in Germany. In Germany, they drive on the American side of the road. Who'd have thought? They drive on the right-hand side with the left-hand, the driver's seats on the left-hand side, like in America. It's the same, which is cool. Which is super cool. Super, super cool. I was like, dude, I could actually drive a car here. Mr. Sunmaid with the 314 with the pie super chat. Well, thanks for a little bit of pie on Friday. I appreciate it. How cool is that? Thanks for the pie. Thanks for the pie. I love pie and I love pie chats. What the? Did I edit this thing wrong? Oh, man, I think I edited this thing wrong. It, like, just went back into a different point in time. Ooh. Oh. Oh, no, this is the slow part. So I got a bunch of fast, and then I got some slow part here. Okay. I'm slowly but surely becoming not a fan of the Pogostemon stellatus octopus because it grows like freaking wildfire. I mean, I'm telling you, this plant needs more trimming than my beard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta shave less often than I gotta trim this plant. It's, you know, I did a ton of willow hygro, like the narrow kind, for many, many years. It's kind of my favorite background plant for a long time. And I got out of it. I don't know why. I should probably just go back. To willow hygro, like some narrow leaf stuff. This stuff grows like crazy. So if you are looking for a plant that grows super fast, this is one you should certainly get, I think. Or if you're somebody who's like, I can't grow plants, get this plant. You'll be fine. You will do fantastically. You know what I mean? So this plant has some definite upsides. For me, it's sort of a kick myself in the shins, wondering just why it's just going bananas. It's just going buck wild. But yeah, thank you for the pie chat, Mr. Sunmaid. I like it. Jandon Keller. J. Andon Keller says, coffee should be its own food group. You're right. It should be. Sigler Bro's wondering, I don't know how you stay sober, bro. Good on you. A lot of hard work, dedication, meditation, going to group, doing step work, all that kind of stuff. That's how I stay sober, and this is the life for me. It's a much better lifestyle for me personally. Savannah the Aqualama says, congratulations, Joel. Your daughter will be one lucky little girl to have you and Vicky Toria for parents. That is right. We've got a girl on the way. We are going to get that verified. We're going to get that verified with another ultrasound coming up fairly soon. I think sometime next week. And pardon my sniffles and all this stuff. I know I sound terrible and all that because I don't know. I just kind of feel terrible. I generally feel terrible. But that's okay. Because it's Friday, right? We're going to have a good time. We answer some questions. We do some stuff. 54 Punchy says, I have to trim the Pogostemon in my 40 breeder every week just to keep it under control. That is right. Rory wants another tank. Yeah, me too. I'm waiting on another tank. I probably shouldn't reveal the next tanks that are coming into my fish room, but I will tell you guys there are other fish tanks that are coming into the fish room. Let's see here. JH Aquatic says the styrogine, I don't know. Depends on how you want to say it. Looks good. Yes, I'm very happy with how the styrogine is coming along. However you want to say it. Styrogine. is coming along quite well, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm spreading it out. I'm actually gonna be taking I'm gonna be removing the Monte Carlo because I'm just infuriated by it at this point. It just needs to go into a different project, which probably it's actually gonna end up going in some pots outside. I'm probably just gonna move it out to the greenhouse or something like that, and just do some potted projects with it. I was chatting with Tom a while ago, and he was showing me some pictures of some of the bonsai trees that he does outside, and he plants the pots with Monte Carlo often to grow outside. So I think I might just end up using it for that. So I'll save the I'll save that Monte Carlo. I'm just tired of trying to fight it. I'm just really tired of trying to fight the Monte Carlo, especially with my water and my setup and stuff. My setups just don't. It's not great for it. More coughing. Sorry about that. But those of you that are looking for certain things, Candy is posting links into the chat if you guys are wondering where the what's the word? If you guys are looking for certain things that I use or any of that kind of stuff, she's posting stuff into the chat. Barbara Jackson, the $2.99 super chat saying for some hot soup. Hope you feel better soon. I may have mentioned that already, but yeah, I think I'm doing hot soup tonight. I think I'm doing soup for dinner for me and my lady. I think we'll be doing that, and that's probably going to be the best bet. I noticed that my throat is starting to get sore, which is never a good sign in my world. But what? Why isn't this working? I just clicked on this thing, and then it's just like, no, not gonna work. Like, work. There we go. Pause. All right. Wait. Let's go over here. Okay, hold on. I'm clicking the buttons over here, so I'm trying to get a thing because I wanted to tell you guys about a thing, but that's not going to work from that computer. So I've got to go over here and... Okay. Alrighty, right. Okay. So I've got something to share with you guys, and I will be appearing on a different show. Okay. I will be appearing on a different show on June 4th. On June 4th, I will be appearing on a different podcast, and I want you guys to check this out. So far, they have 12 episodes on there. This is a guy that is local to the Seattle area. His name is Randy, and he runs the Aquarist podcast. And I will tell you this much. There are, out of the 12 podcasts that he's got up here, okay, first of all, Eric Lucas, awesome. William, I don't know how to say this guy's last name, Paragine, which is awesome. The third guest is Therese Neal, who I actually got to meet in person at the Aquatic Experience. This is episode 3. Episode 4, Lawrence Kent. I don't know who Sam Scales is. I don't know how to say that last name either. Joe Ferdenzi, Greg Steves, Sam Rutka, I don't know who that is, but Eric Martins is the guy from Disco Bee. That one's on there. Heather Burke, Matthew Shower, and Kevin Kelly, Brooklyn Hardscape. So there's a bunch of cool people. Was Flynn on this one? Candy says Flynn was on that. I didn't know. I didn't see Flynn on there. But either way, there's 12 of these 12 podcasts on the YouTube channel that I shared there. I'll be appearing there on June 4th, as far as I know. So this is a hashtag free plug for a local guy who's definitely getting some really cool people on the on that podcast. I'm not sure who he's going to have on next, or I know that he has a bunch of podcasts out that have other people on them and stuff, so I would definitely check that out for sure. And I guess throw him a subscription or whatever, because he's going to have some new ones on at some point in time, and one of them will be me. So if you're looking forward to that conversation, actually, I think it'll be pretty interesting. He's a pretty cool guy, and it's pretty definitely some of the guests on there, I'm like, dude, rad. And I would say that Therese from Denerla, who I met at Interzoo, is super awesome. I haven't listened to that podcast yet, but that will be my next one I want to listen to, kind of hear picking her brain and stuff like that. Huge J-Mac wants to be the 100th like. How do we not get to 100 likes yet? I don't know. I guess this show's not good enough to get to 100 likes. Which is legit, I guess. You know, this is whether or not people like it or not. That's how you get to so many likes, right? Isn't that how that works? Isn't that how the internet world works? I don't think it does. I'm being sarcastic. We've got a $5 super chat from Rebecca, who's asking, do you trim Alternanthera renekii just like any other stem plant? I have some going a bit crazy in a nanoscape. The best advice I could give to you with this plant would be, do you trim it like other plants? Yes, but it will overgrow itself. As it gets longer and taller and stuff like that, the base of it will get all, for lack of a better way to put it, ugly, fugly, nasty. It'll kind of overshadow its lower leaves, and they'll get kind of algae bound and start looking like a mess, and eventually just sort of fall off and kind of look all funky and spindly down at the bottom. So what you really want to do is probably isolate, however much of the top. I normally go about 6 to 8 inches down and trim the top off and replant the top, and then I'll oftentimes pull the bottom out, right? The bottom stem portion. I'll either trim that down all the way at the base and pull that middle area out and drop that into a sump somewhere, right? And then I will, once I replant the top will root and grow in, and then I'll probably have 2. Or I'll completely pull out everything and just trim it all the way at the base, right? And then just allow it to resprout from the base. Or secret option 3, pull the whole thing out, root ball and everything, trim the top off, replant the top, and then take the root ball and put it in the sump somewhere else so that it can sprout and then do something else with it. So hopefully that explains what you do with Alternanthera renekii and gives you some options of what you want to go with. They're all pretty equal. They're all just kind of different depending on what you're doing. In a nanoscape like that, I would get pretty aggressive with trimming because things can just get out of hand in a nanoscape pretty quickly because you run out of space really fast. Oh, yeah. I see Mr. Lucas Bretz is in the chat. What up? We got a bunch of famous people in the chat today. Aquapros, Aquarium Coop, Mr. Bretz. What's up? Good to see you guys. Let's see here. Bentley Pascal has a video on AR. I don't know what that is. Or Alternanthera renekii, I'm guessing. What happened here? Oh, somebody was saying that my bristlenose plecos are not hungry enough. There are no bristlenose plecos in this 150. The bristlenose plecos are actually in the 240, and there are some in Vicky's tank too. But there are no bristlenose in here. This is just shrimp, snails, and one guppy just to piss off the internet. You know what I mean? There's one guppy in there to piss off the intros nets. You know what I mean? Because it makes people go crazy when they're like, you've only got one guppy in a 150-gallon aquarium, and then they think they're like being super, super witty, Like, people call me a jackass that I would get like an 8,000 gallon aquarium and put one beta in it, and I'm like, yeah, I would, because I'd be trolling the people that put these comments up. Does it go that deep? Does my trolling go that deep? Probably. It probably does. And it generally probably makes those people all super pissed off. But I think it's funny. Got that one shark guppy. And then people troll me and ask me if my guppy ever gave birth. And I'm like, no. No, it didn't. As far as I know. I mean, there might be guppy babies somewhere, but I've never seen any. I've never seen any from that female, so that female is trolling me right back. So I guess turnabout's kind of fair play, right? I guess in that situation that I may or may not be trolling the trolls, and then the guppy is trolling me not giving birth, right? Man, that's a whole lot of weirdness. You know what I'm saying? JH Aquatics is wondering when I'm sending him Stargrass. I hate shipping stuff, so probably not. Probably not going to happen. But Gone Wishing says Kang Lee has nothing to worry about. Yeah, no, I don't think Kang Lee has anything to worry about. He's an awesome dude. And if I do get more guppies, I'll either be getting them from the co-op or from Kang Lee. I think those would be the two places that I really want to get some guppies from. Lucas does need to get back to work, but I thought I would stop by and hit the like button and check it out. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. BC Fishroom says, star-studded chat. Sorry, man. I got to blow my nose. All right, man. There we go. All right, man. What up? All right, there we go. Just Me says, I'm going to laugh when she has 50 babies. I would laugh, too, if that happens. If that happens, that would crack me up. That would be a riot. It would be super funny if she's just been holding on to him this long and then has just, like, 50 babies, you know. Alvin Alejo with the $2 super chat saying, I've never had a Planet Tank super jelly of yours. It's definitely worthwhile. I always recommend people to get into the Planet Tank hobby. I'm crazy for it, and I might be a little bit too crazy for it or whatever by some people's standards, but I say go for it, man. I say certainly go for it. Setup is not that difficult. There's a lot of information out there that can make it really, really, really simple to do. My biggest recommendation would be get a tank, obviously. I think that kind of goes without saying. Get a decent filter, whether it be hang-on back, canister, or a sump. It doesn't really matter all that much, but here's the two things that are really going to matter. Get some good quality substrate, whether it's EcoComplete, fluorite. What I use is Fluval Stratum is the most common one that I use the most is the Fluval Stratum, which is the primary. It's probably the primary substrate in this aquarium, other than some ADA Amazonia and some fluorite black sand. Those are the three substrates in here, but the Fluval Stratum I find to be the best all around, whether it be price versus performance, all that kind of stuff. I find that to be the best one, and I'd say go for that. And then make sure you get yourself a good quality light, something that can be usable. I know that I've been getting some other ideas as far as lighting goes and stuff like that from people that have been chiming in on Wednesday's live stream, which is fantastic. Although I would love to hear some examples. If people have like an other light that they really, really, really like, I would like to hear the example, not just tell me, that's the Fluval lights that you recommend are stupid expensive and that's dumb, right? So I would like to know the ones that you put up, that you're putting up against them. I know that somebody recommended the Nicru lights, and honestly, those are garbage. And it's like, I think they're garbage. If you're really going to do something where you spend $30 on a light, and then it's broken and you have to replace it, and then you have to get another $30 light, and then it's broken and you have to replace it. What is this? Oh. Sergeant Tanks is blowing me up right now. He's sending me a bunch of messages. But you know, you end up buying a cheap light over and over and over again. Now that's the big problem. That's the big problem that I've experienced. You know, over the years, that there are other brands that are reasonably priced, but you do want to spend and get a good quality light. I've used stuff like the Chinese manufactured LED floodlights. You know, I was one of the guys that brought those around like 5-6 years ago. I was a big proponent of that at the time because they were super cheap. But I'll tell you this, I spent more time repairing those lights or dealing with problems in those lights, considering the drivers. You have to wire them in with your own, you have to wire them in with your own cord, so you have to go get a cord. You know, they don't have a timer built into them. The daisy chain them together. Then you need to add more wiring in place, or you have a power strip that has like a whole bunch of things run into an outlet, and it's just kind of chaos. So I don't necessarily recommend the super cheap lights anymore, and for the biggest reason behind that is you look at some of the reef lights I've spent a lot of money on. The reef lights and things that I've spent a lot of money on that do have the bells and whistles, that do actually do what they say they're supposed to do, and have a good warranty on them and things like that, I haven't had to replace them or spend a lot of time repairing them or warranting them or doing all the other stuff when I should be essentially like paying attention to my aquariums and actually like paying attention to the plants and the critters and everything in them. So I just find that it's a huge waste of time and energy for buying something that's super cheap. You know, none of the other brands really like pop into my head right off the top of my head, which is why I would like to hear some more examples of lights that people out there have had good use for. I know one of them that was, let me see here. Where did that go? Crap. Okay. I'm not going to name names. Okay. Not going to name names on who produced a light or who didn't produce a light. But on the last live stream, somebody had posted a light. So I went, okay, well, who makes that light? And I'm very familiar with the company that produces that light. And the one that they posted is just one that has a different sticker on it. It's not UL rated. I had a bunch of them in the past with the same kind of from the same company. They didn't last long. They almost always had problems being run off of a light timer. They didn't operate properly. They didn't return back on the way that they were supposed to be. They didn't have a dimmer in them. Just a lot of issues. And then you end up wasting a ton of energy when you could just be actually working on your project as opposed to having bought a thing and then it not working. G Bear says, my friend has Kessel lights on the 40 gallon. They are sweet. I think the Kessels are awesome, except for the fact that you have to buy the gooseneck separately, which the gooseneck is actually the arm that attaches to the tank. So you actually just get the can light by itself. I think the Kessels are awesome. And then the spread on them is pretty terrible. So even a 40 gallon tank needs like 2 of them versus only one of the Fluval lights. I have one Fluval light on this 150 gallon. This is one Fluval 2.0 Fresh and Plant on this 150 gallon aquarium right here. It lights up the aquarium enough. It grows all the plants. It grows the Repens. It grows Rhenechii. It grows all the stuff I need it to grow. The crypts are growing huge, doing super well. Every plant in here is doing fine. And that's one Fluval light on a 150 gallon aquarium. It's just one. So that's kind of the thing, is that the spread on them is really good, and they do a lot of the stuff that I want. Not to make this into a freaking Fluval video or anything like that, because it's not. I love those guys. I love those guys' stuff. But keep in mind they don't pay me to say anything, so I'll let you guys know if they ever do. If they ever do pay me to say anything, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, it's just because I dig those guys. I just dig these lights. They're just really worth it. And as Mr. Sunmate says, with lights, you don't get what you pay for. I think with the Fluval lights, you actually do. And I think the Kessel lights, for sure, you definitely get what you pay for. The Radion lights from Ecotech, you definitely do get what you pay for. I'm trying to think of some other brands that are for sure good. Well, I don't know. There's 3 brands right there that you definitely do get what you pay for. Definitely a quality product. Ricab Harris says, in my experience, after having both fresh and saltwater tanks, 12 plus years, trying power compacts with T5s, Par 38s, Nicrews, and Fluval 2 and 3, Fluval wins. They really are worth their price. Yeah, that's just really the thing for me, is that I know a lot of people have been following for a lot of years know that I've gone from T5s to LEDs to T8s to high-pressure sodiums, to halogens, like all sorts of crazy stuff. And I've definitely settled on basically this Fluval light because the cost versus all of the stuff that you get with it, I'm pretty satisfied. So that's kind of the big thing. G-Bear says, yes, he has 2 on the 40... Yeah, he has 2 of the Phoenix lights on the 40, and that's kind of one of the things for me is that I got 1 of these on a 150, and it's plenty enough light to grow quite a bit. Which, the Phoenix lights, that would put you in about like the $400 or $450 range for a 40 gallon, whereas this one was like 185, I think. So I think that really, to me, is what really breaks it down. Candy posted an affiliate link for the Fluval lights if you want them. Yeah, go ahead and go through and get them from the co-op. If you want to go through the co-op and get them, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But there's the affiliate link if you guys want that. All right, let's go on to the Patreon. I don't even know if I even talked about my aquascaping or anything like that. But it's coming along. I'm happy with the 150, and those green rocks, we'll get those cleaned up fairly soon. We've gone on to the Patreon. I don't want to miss this show while I ramble on being sick today. Okay, so that guy right there is me. Okay, this weird looking character right here is me, okay? And this guy right here, that's Big Texas Tanks, otherwise known as Travis. What is up, my man? He was at the American Light Bearers Association. We're standing in front of the Michigan room. But we were in Michigan, so actually it kind of works out. Sort of makes sense. Was happy to make his acquaintance in person. This is just another reason why... I think most people should go to any of these conventions and stuff like that. Not necessarily me, but you're definitely going to meet some what I would consider to be some pretty darn cool people. Oh, man. So, at the very least, you could have met Big Texas Tanks out there, right? And maybe it wasn't me, but you could have met Travis. And Travis was a great dude. Had a lot of good times chatting it up with him and hanging out and having a great time. This is why I recommend people to go to conventions. You can meet people like this and have a lot of fun. And I thought it was great. I had a great time there. All right, we've got some big-time problems here from Lisa Camilleri's tank. She's getting spots. She's having to medicate. She's got a lot of kind of pretty wild stuff going on. She's been medicating a lot, and there seems to be a lot of things going on. And from reading it and reading all the things that she's got going on, it sounds like she's got some kind of parasite that has gone on unmedicated at this point. She's been through a lot of medications. I would almost think at this point where she's at, having gone through so many medications and so many things, that I would almost get to the point where it's probably something being reintroduced into the tank, would be my guess. Because there's stuff going on outside in the outside tubs. There's stuff going on inside in the inside tanks. And I think realistically at this point, if this was my system, I would be really evaluating everything that is going on. So like what's being added to the tank on a regular basis? Where's my water change stuff coming from? Where's my food source? What exactly is happening? Is there something else landing into the tank? I would really be starting to look at my whole entire system and try and figure out what's going on. Because this guppy right here is really feeding. This one right here, not doing well. She kind of posted a lot of pictures with the same post and the full explanation of what's going on here. And I would, I think with everything that's going on here and with the extent of the systems that she has, I think if I was in this position, I would almost think about individually getting these fish and everything moved to some isolation tanks and starting to treat them and bring them all back into quarantine. That's probably what I would do. I know it sounds like a crazy lot of work, but it seems like she has a pretty big system with a lot of different fish inside, outside, and all that kind of stuff going on. So I would realistically put in the legwork to essentially get all the species moved into some species tanks and get them treated and treat the tanks also. That's basically what I would do. I know it sounds like a lot of work and whatnot, but I think it's probably the best bet at this point would be to get the fish. It's probably species specific or maybe even tank specific. Get them moved into some new tanks, and start treating them individually and really paying attention to each school and stuff. Because if you have a bunch of stuff outside, it's really difficult to know if you're even treating properly or not, if you're maintaining the temperature properly for any kind of treatments. It seems like there's parasites and stuff getting into your system, so I really would be doing a full evaluation to try and really figure out what is going on. Sometimes this kind of stuff happens with outside tanks pretty often, but it sounds like it's happening inside and outside, which basically makes me think that there's like something getting introduced to the system somehow that we're just not really thinking about in these terms. So I would definitely start going outside the box, move things to, isolation tanks where I can treat them and go from there. And I would definitely be treating for pretty much just kind of everything. This is kind of one of those things where you get kind of like a flock, and the whole flock gets sick, and then the flock gets the rest of the flock sick, and then it's just kind of this, cascading effect of craziness that just keeps going and going and going and going. So that's realistically what I would do at this point, because it seems like things are infecting other things and kind of bouncing back and forth, and from inside to outside, I think is probably a big part of the big confusion as to see like what the problem is. So that's the way that I would tackle it. Danny Lawrence posted, how do I add a picture to my post? And he got some help from the lovely Oceaneers and got a picture added to his post. And he says, so I just got home today and started doing my water change when I noticed a random fish in my Amano shrimp / Malaysian trumpet snails tank. Mind you, only one fish lives in this tank, a bristlenose pleco. Can someone tell me what this little fish is? It basically looks like a little goldfish, like a goldfish fry. Both Corey and I looked at this one and it was kind of like, yeah, it looks like a goldfish fry. Super weird that like one would show up. And as we can see here, from the Oceaneers. Looks like a comet goldfish fry. Comet fry. Goldfish laid eggs on some plants and moved around. All right, cool. We've got that sorted out, and that's super cool. But this is a perfect example of a post right here. Like, hey, man, what's going on? This is a very difficult little fish to kind of identify because there's no coloring, and you can't see him from head on. So I would recommend a side shot and a front shot if you can in the future, just to anybody to help identify. Let's see. Josh Peters posted up Congo/West Africa tank from a Scootin' Fruity Puffer Jabba. I'm digging it. It's definitely dope. Watch out for that. Oh wait, Hetty's. I'm feeling like my cold brain is kicking in. Anacaris? Am I saying that right? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Watch out. It's going to get super tall and gangly in the back there. Here's a shot of his Scootin' Fruity Puffer. His name's Jabba. What's up, Jabba? How you doing? I do have to say, Corey and I met the guy who's actually bred these, and I think Corey and I's appraisal is pretty close to each other. This is going to be like a really uphill battle. Marcus basically made us both look like idiots. That guy's so freaking, he's so into it, man. He's 100 miles deep into it. As you guys know, I'm 100 miles deep into plants and stuff. I'm not 100 miles deep into breeding puffers like Marcus is. But he certainly didn't make it sound like, oh boy, this is going to be super easy. But it can be done. So is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Yeah. Is it maybe a really long tunnel? Probably. What's up, Vexen Cat? How you doing? Vexen Cat said very cute right down here. See that? Vexen Cat just showed up in the chat, and Vexen Cat was commenting down here on Josh Peters' Scootin' Fruity. We have a post here from Admiral Blackbeard. He's wondering, anyone know what the white stuff is, and what should I do, if anything? It's in the sump, none in the main tank. This is bacterial colonization on lava rock. This is one of the downsides to lava rock. Over the years, this bacterial colonization will just kind of look scummy and gross on lava rock, whereas it doesn't look as scummy and gross on, pumice or the biorings or anything like that. It just really doesn't show up. You just generally don't notice it. Whereas it grows a little, this like hairy, fuzzy stuff from, I can't remember exactly what it is in the lava, but the lava rock itself will grow like this. You can always knock this out with some antibacterial, but I don't think that it's completely necessary. It's also one of the reasons I don't like lava rock in aquascapes. It'll do this funky, nasty, weird nonsense. Excuse me. And almost always be kind of an issue. The one thing I have a question about is why are your lines here still on your sump from when you put your glass in? Probably should have wiped those off, right? Let's give you a hard time. The Blackbeard. Because we both have black beards, right? Mike Howie, who was first to the chat today, is throwing us an update, thank you very much, on his fish barn, which is coming along. Looks like he's definitely doing some drywall work. We were discussing this trench that he was digging when we were out in Michigan. It looks like that's all finished up, and the downstairs is definitely coming along. I'm pretty excited for this fish barn. I can't wait to see this thing get done. I know that it takes a long time. Everybody has to fit all this kind of stuff in when they can, and Mike is no exception. So I'm excited to see it get it done, but let's just remember to have a little bit of patience. And but I'm glad to see all that progress. It's looking way better than it did before. I'll tell you that for sure. MO3N Moen. Does that mean mowing? Yeah, I think so. Quick question for everyone. I'm setting up a new planted tank, and it will be my first time using a sump. I have the tank set up with a Herbie overflow, and was wondering if I should add an internal overflow box. I see them on reef tanks, but I have not seen them on many freshwater planted tanks. You can do an overflow box on an internal overflow box. I find them easier to manage, but it's not necessary. You definitely don't need it. You can do an overflow box if you like. I just don't like the siphon break potential from the overflow box situation. I don't like that. So I will typically drill tanks and do it that way, and just kind of allows less opportunity for an overflow to happen. Excuse me. So you don't necessarily need it. It's not 100% necessary, but I do like to have an overflow box inside a tank as just kind of an added deal. We have an introduction here from Chad Kratz. He's kind of new. He's new to the fish family. You know what I mean? And posted a introduction to himself, and I'm definitely glad to have heard that. Definitely throw a little like here onto Vexing Cat saying welcome aboard. I like it when people welcome him to the board. If people are wondering where all these comments come from, these are from the Patreon community page, which is another reason why I think Patreon is super cool. It gives us a chance to host some of these questions and stuff like that. More snail leeches, a little better photos. Photo was taken with a cheap digital microscope through thick plastic, so they are not exactly the best, just a little bit better. Someone suggested I try assassin snails. I'm a little bit dubious, but I might try it after removing any snails I want to keep. I took a few photos of him chowing down on a ram's horn snail. If anyone wants to see those pics, let me know. Forgot to say, this one was on the small side, smaller than a pea when all contracted up. Let me tell you a thing about snail leeches. Huge pain in the butt, and there aren't any snails that will eat them. You will need to source a fish that can eat them. Endlers will definitely eat them. A lot of loaches will eat them. I think cory cats will eat them, but there are a lot of fish. You're going to have to get a fish to get rid of these, or remove all the inhabitants and treat the entire system for the snail leeches. They are a pain in the butt, hard to get rid of, and they need to be eaten, or you need to add a bunch of medication to the tank to get rid of them, which is never great for fish or critters or anything that's in the tank. But the best way to treat for these is think about what your tank stocking you want it to be, and try to get something that will actually consume these, and they will eventually eat them all, and you'll be generally good to go. But yeah, getting them eaten by something is kind of the best route that I know how to deal with them. Pamela Earlywine, as we mentioned earlier, got the monitor in the mail, and look at this. Look how old her monitor was. Look at how old her monitor was. It's 1-to-1 ratio, you guys. It's not 3-to-2. It's not 3-to-2. It's a 1-to-1 ratio monitor. I was not kidding you how old her computer was. When she basically freaked out when the 27-inch monitor came. She was like the biggest monitor she'd ever seen. I don't know if she said that on the Patreon or not, so I might be putting words to her mouth, but on the left is the new monitor. I got the new computer up and running. I'm working on getting everything figured out. I want to thank all of the Fish Fam and everyone who contributed to get me a new computer. Can't begin to explain how much it meant to me that people cared. The computer is my lifeline, not only to YouTube and other social media, but to the art world as well. Without a working computer, I was dead in the water. Special thanks to Candy and Joel for organizing the fundraiser, and to everyone that contributed. You will all be hearing from me soon. Much love and hugs to our Fish Fam. Dude, this is so cool. It's just one of the coolest things, man. Like I said before, I was sort of disenchanted by, the humankind, and just to see the outreach, and just to see how everybody just was like, you know what, somebody in our community needed help. Everybody chipped in, and then just to see it happen, it's so awesome. It's super awesome to see that, and it warms my heart. It warms my heart and reminds me that we're not all doomed, which is great. And It's super awesome. It's super rad. And it makes me feel good that I won't have to live in a world with no art in it. Right? And then here's a super long post from Pamela about her Farewellas who are watching their eggs, which I'm great to see that the Farewellas are breeding like so quickly. I didn't expect them to breed so quickly. The Friday morning update, I can see a little fry inside the eggs. Time to get a 5-gallon setup and ready. We'll move them this afternoon, thinking maybe leave a little mulm on the bottom of the 5-gallon for the little microorganisms it might harbor. Yeah, I probably would. I would definitely add some Java moss. Oh, God. Or something that had grown up, some algae on it and whatnot, if at all possible. Ollie H posted today on a Friday. He got right in there. Definitely digging it. I don't know what's up with this crazy little avatar, but it just makes me laugh. It's like a little octopus with a monocle and a mustache and a top hat. It just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh, you know? Ollie H says, it's not pretty, but it works. Tap water TDS from 370 down, right on down to 35. Look at this, man. This is some ingenuity right here, I think, for sure. Yeah, you're right. It's not pretty, but I can see that this is functional, and it's actually kind of a 3-stage push filter like the ones I make, and so mad respect to that. But it's definitely dropping it from 370 down to 35. 35 is totally manageable. 370 can be problematic depending on what it is, but definitely digging that. I'm loving the ingenuity of just getting it all into that sink. I don't know how you manage to get everything all twisted around to fit in the sink, and definitely 2 thumbs up on that one. Digging it for sure. All right. Well, hopefully I answered everybody's questions. I got to catch up with the chat here real quick, and I'm starting to cough a lot and everything, so I'm going to be winding down for the end of the show. But let me catch up with the chat here for a second. Gone Wishing says, wide? Question. Tanky Michigan seems like a dream to me now from Mr. Sunmaid. Yep, should have gone. If you couldn't make it to Interzoo, you should have made it to Michigan. That was pretty fun. Usabi Tsunami says, I got spots too. Turns out I slept on a bingo dauber. Yeah, those are hard to get off. I'll tell you that much. It's hard to wash off the bingo marker. Borg Aquatics says, I just added Fluval stratum in my 30-gallon shrimp tank. Was worth the money. Oh, digging that. Sickle Bro says, I got some loud and fuzzy rock and roll to go check out. So, unfortunately, I gots to check on out of here. Hope you all Canucks in the house have a great long weekend day. Digging it. Cyclo Bro, I'll check you later. All right. Trying to catch up on the chat here, but looks like everybody's just kind of not have like a ton of questions or anything like that. So I'll take all my coughing and sneezing and mayhem. And definitely just want to say thank you to everybody for your generous super chattery today. Definitely digging it. Rum Bust for sure. Rob Hicks Aquariums. Gone Mad. Digging it. Rory, thank you very much. Niels Hansen. 54 Punchy. John Gonzalez. Nisi of the North. Chicken Lips 2. Barbara Jackson. Mr. Sunmaid. Rebecca. And Alvin Alejo. Digging it. Thank you very much. Johnny Zelaya is asking, why is me Mr. Brown's so why is Mr. Brown so expensive? I don't think it's super expensive. It's like $1. It's like $1 for one. I don't think it's super expensive. I think it's like $1 for one. I guess it was like what was it, 160 euros in Germany, which I guess is more, but I don't know. Vexing Cat with a $10 super chat here at the end, going up to the top of the leaderboard with a $10 super chat, saying thanks for everything. Well, you're very welcome. I appreciate it. Thanks for chipping in, man. I appreciate it. Super awesome. Let's see here. Bald and Dangerous says, need to go, peeps. Time for bed. Thanks, Joel, for another great live stream. Oh, thank you, Dougie, for coming out. Phil Emerson, thank you for dealing with your feeling bad to be here and all the knowledge you give. Yeah, you know what? It's my pleasure. I love being here because you guys are here. Challenger says, if you could only keep large fish like eels, Oscars, and arowana, what would those be? Only large fish, Pictus cats. I'd do Pictus cat. Big free swimming Pictus cats. That's what I would do if I could only do large fish. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. Or maybe... I guess it really depends on the size of the tank. Arowanas kind of just piss me off. Eels are really cool. Oscars are a lot of fun. But it definitely depends on the size of tank. If I had a sort of an unlimited giant tank, I would probably do like alligator gars or something like that, probably. Or, I'd have to think about that. I'd have to think about giant fish because I don't think about them that much. But good question. Good question, because I'd have to think about it. Aquariums Anonymous says, hey, guys, I've been trying to figure out why I can't see live video on my work computer. It won't let me watch them during or after they upload, but I can't watch any other suggestions. I'm guessing your work computer is probably blocked from watching videos. That would be my guess. If that's the case. I don't know. Or maybe that's not the question. Johnny Elias says, Mr. Brown's like $40 for a 24-pack of cappuccino. Oh, man, has it gone up? Have we driven the price? Have we driven the price up? Is that the deal? I don't know. This one says $24. Just, hold on. Let me get this. Text. Copy. Check this out. Boom. Check that out. So, there you go. Johnny. There's a 24-pack. $24. Amazon. And if you subscribe, it'll even be cheaper. But then you'll be getting them every month. And if you don't want them every month, that might be a problem. But there's a link right there in case you need some Mr. Browns. They're only $1 a piece. All right. Let's see here. All right. I think I'm pretty well caught up. Hopefully everyone has a fantastic weekend out there. I'll see if I can get some short videos out to you guys. I don't know. I'm trying to edit them and stuff, but it's becoming more and more difficult with feeling like garbage, whether or not I'll be able to get them out. But I'll do my best. I'll do my best to get you guys some videos. I think I'll be able to have one or two this weekend coming out for you. But as a quick reminder, remember, go easy on the fireworks. Go easy on all the craziness. Go easy on your friends and your family. And remember to tell everybody that you love them and all that kind of stuff. And certainly don't let off any fireworks because you might burn down your house just like my neighbors did the other day. And, you know, what comes up next? The later. Did somebody hide that button?